Weird things that happened in 2020. Number 5. Mystery box opened. In October 2020, it was reported that a carved wooden box had been found at the infamous Boleskine house. The property was once owned and inhabited by occultist Aleister Crowley as well as Jimmy Page, guitarist and founder of Led Zeppelin. The box was rumored to have been sealed with melted wax and was bought via online auction by Rick Spencer, a resident of Grimsby. The person who sold the box to Spencer claimed that he had found it under the floorboards of the Boleskine house after a fire ripped through it in 2015. In November 2020, Spencer worked up the nerve to open the box, after sprinkling a circle of salt around it. Inside he found something resembling a voodoo doll, a sketch that is reminiscent of the sinister film DVD cover, as well as coins, and what seemed to be vegetation. Spencer believes that the box might in fact be a depot box, and asked for anyone with information on the owner of the house between 2012 and 2015 to contact him. The owner at that time would have been millionaire Trudy P. Clarbacker. Number 4. Wish upon a scam. Earlier this year, Drive Lai Khan from Uttar Pradesh in India started treating a woman for an undisclosed ailment and met her 2 sons. During the woman's visits, the 2 men gradually started telling the doctor about a Baba, priest or guardman who would visit their home, and eventually got the doctor to come to their home and meet the Baba. The 2 men also had a lamp in their possession that they claimed could produce a jinn or genie, which brought good luck and wealth. At one point, Drive Khan asked if he could take the lamp home after one of the men made a jinn appear from the lamp. The men refused, saying that the lamp could bring harm to the doctor, but they gave in when he said he would pay for it. Drive Khan paid $93,000, around 7 million rupees for the lamp, but soon realized there was nothing magical about it. The doctor then approached the police and filed a complaint after he also realized that the jinn he had seen was most likely one of the 2 men in disguise. The 2 men were arrested in November 2020 and were being held in custody ahead of charges being filed. The woman who was believed to be their mother is in fact the wife of one of the men and is on the run as she too was involved in the scam. Number 3. A puppy named Hulk. On 10th January, Shauna Staney and her family were keeping an eye on their white female German Shepherd who was in the process of giving birth to 8 puppies. When the 4th puppy started making his way out, Staney was shocked to see that his fur was lime green. The other 7 puppies all sported white or black fur. Fortunately, the color caused no harm for the little pup. He had simply been stained with meconium before being born. Meconium being a dark green substance that forms the first faces of a newborn puppy. The family checked with a local vet to see that all was well with the puppy and were reassured that he wouldn't stay that color forever. They also decided to call the little doggy Hulk and believe that he is their good luck charm. Number 2. Green eggs and ham. From green puppies to green food, it is always a bit strange when things don't come in the color you expect them to. In the middle of 2020, a farmer decided to post some pictures of freshly laid eggs on Facebook. He had noticed that the eggs his hens had been laying had dark green yolks since 2019, but he only shared pictures of it 9 months later. These pictures went viral and attracted the attention of experts at the Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University. They contacted the farmer and collected one of his hens, as well as a few eggs, to try and determine the cause of the green yolks. Researchers found green pigment in fat deposits below the skin of the hen and quickly cracked the case, determining that the feed given to them was causing the strangely colored GGS. They provided the farmer with alternative poultry feed, and within 2 weeks the yolks of the eggs laid by all the hens were back to their normal yellow color. Number 1. Aurora Borealis and the Titanic. 108 years after the sinking of the Titanic, the world remains fascinated by the tragedy and every piece of news that surrounds it. Ongoing studies have led to news reports in September 2020 announcing that a solar storm, which sparked the Aurora Borealis, may have caused interference with the ship's navigational equipment. There was no moon on the night the Titanic sank, but the northern lights had illuminated the sky overhead, as CANB reported by many survivors. Independent Titanic researcher Mila Zinkova published a paper this year in which she detailed evidence that the solar storm and northern lights may have ultimately messed with the ship's compass and caused it to veer into the path of the iceberg. She also posed the likelihood that the Carpathia compass, too, was affected by the solar storm. Zinkova's study also posited that the Titanic's radio transmissions would have been affected by the solar storm. This would then explain why the Titanic's SAR signals went unheard, and why responses were never received. Historian Tim Maltine agrees with Zinkova that a solar storm took place that night, but he doesn't believe it could have contributed to the disaster, instead holding on to the initial findings that the ship sank due to failures in its design and a lack of effective crew protocol.